It's known as the Dutch Silicon Valley. This is the Brainport industrial hub located in Eindhoven in the south of the Netherlands. This region is home to multiple chip manufacturers.
The most advanced cars can have up to 8,000 chips per car.
These technologies make Europe a major player in the global semiconductor race. But since the victory of the far right in the last Dutch elections, this CEO fears the country is taking an anti-immigrant turn. Almost a quarter of his workforce is foreign, and it's a number that continues to grow.
At the moment, there are a lot of foreign workers who want to come here. But if you start to exclude people and aren't as open towards highly skilled foreign workers, then you could notice that people will be less keen to come to the Netherlands.
That worry is shared by other companies. ASML is one of the biggest employers in the Netherlands with a 40% foreign workforce. The company made Dutch authorities tremble when it threatened to leave the country. As a result, the outgoing government announced €2.5 billion in public investment in the Brainport area for infrastructure and housing. But none of that changes the anti-immigration program of the party that won a quarter of the votes and is trying to form a government.
The time where we would give away everything is over. We are going to negotiate hard, but all parties at the table will do that. We will participate, and I hope and trust that there will be a government, but only if I give our voters a large part of what I promised them.
It's a political contradiction, says this journalist who follows the negotiations between the four parties which have been trying to form a government for 5 months.
These four parties have decided together that there has to be a very strict policy on immigration, and that concerns migrant workers, expats, and asylum seekers. That is their priority, so beyond a doubt, there will be stricter immigration, and companies will be affected.
Without highly skilled foreign workers, this industry will not survive in the Netherlands. This French engineer has worked in the Eindhoven region for 4 years. After a period of post-industrial decline, the area is once again attractive for talent like Alix. She was surprised by the victory of the far right last November.
I think a lot of people in the region understand the importance of the big companies like ASML, Philips, and even NXP, because even if you don't work for one of these companies, you're either a supplier or a customer, and that means, that you depend on them in your own way.
Just next door to these companies is the Technological University Eindhoven. Here, almost all classes are taught in English. As a result, a quarter of the students come from abroad.
Hey, Julian. How is it going?
Zaki is Indonesian. After his master's, he would like to stay and work in the Netherlands.
It's really kind of stimulating in the sense that a lot of innovation is happening. It's difficult not to be appealed by the Brainport region and how fast Eindhoven is growing. I think especially since I arrived here, you can see how much it really is growing.
That growth is not just seen as a good thing, especially because of the serious housing crisis in the country. This third-year student from Turkey is considering to look for work elsewhere if the climate does not improve.
It's definitely a difficult situation for both perspectives. I understand it, especially regarding housing. There are concerns, and I do understand that. But I do also think that as an international student, we bring a lot of value to the country as well.
But the government is looking for a way to decrease their number by ensuring that certain degrees will have more classes given in Dutch. The engineering programs taught here are exempt for now. The president can't imagine that the measure will be imposed on his university.
It will be awful for the country, it will be awful for this high-tech region, it will be awful for Europe, because we are a very strong European player in the semicon industry, so that will be a disaster. And the Dutch cannot afford not having international students.
These graduates and strategic companies are highly sought after in other parts of the world, at a time when the interest in semiconductors only continues to grow.